This month, in March 2025, Animal Jam released Collections, which is a sub-series of missions where people can collect items. While I really do like this new set of missions, because I partially collected a majority of them already, I still feel that this type of feature does need some work to actually be the best it can. What do I mean by this? Let me tell you. Collections are a series of missions. You can find them under the missions tab, and you go to collections here. You can see here that I completed 7 out of the 9, and I am probably a minority when it comes to this, because the beta den items, for example, was pretty hard to get, and I had a majority of those items already. 2 of which I am still not able to complete right now, even though with all the items I have. It's a really cool feature. I did enjoy completing these collections, and I can't wait for them to implement more as the months go on. And I have some ideas for collections that I'll say later in the video. Here are some positives and negatives I think about this new feature I think should be said. So some positives of the feature are that it gives jammers motivation to actually collect stuff. For example, for the beta den items collection, I was missing 2 by the time I moved all my items over from my spare accounts. I was missing the tiki chair and the modern shelves. The modern shelves, I only was missing them because Leilani asked for them for Eco Wacky Tube Man, and, well, I had to trade it to Leilani. And the Tube Man I don't even use, but whatever. Yeah. I was motivated to collect those 2 items back to actually get the badges. And for other stuff like the cherry blossom wings, I was holding back on getting a pair of them until all the alphas were close to being found. And to get the mission, I went on the Shop Explorer and bought one for 3,000. Another new cool thing about these missions is that the prizes are kind of cool if you're able to complete them. One prize is the Beta Daredevil helmet. Unfortunately, it's for the Beta Accessories badge, which I don't think anyone will ever earn, and I'll explain that in a little bit. But this item was unreleased for so long, and while there is a blueprint for it, I would love to own one of these original variants of the item, and I don't know, maybe one day I will. Probably not, based on how hard this mission is, but yeah. Some other items are, I claimed it already, but they're recolors of some old items. For example, this Beta Den item mission collection gives a tablet and new colors, which is pretty cool because the tablets are rare tag now, so they're not going to re-release them, and there's no salesman variant for it yet. For Super Sweet Rares, they gave the Spike, but in the 2 new color schemes, because some items came in 2 colors, but most, like the Spike, did not. So they gave a orange and a Spike in the neon green color that was introduced a couple years after Super Sweet Rares existed. For pet tokens and Leilani items, they gave a Leilani coin, which is not worth it at all for this mission, and just a normal pet token for the pet token one, which is fine. And a majority of the other ones just give the badge and that's it, which if you're a badge goblin like I am, it's worth it, but if you don't have any will to get any of these badges, it maybe is not. So how about some negatives on this feature? So some negatives about these collections, the biggest one I'd say are that some of these missions are basically impossible for a normal player to get. Specifically the 2 that I didn't finish here, because even I can't finish them here. Let's go with the easier, quote-unquote, easier one out of the 2, the Leilani items of 2019. This one technically is possible. I have seen at least one person get the badge already, but in general, a majority of these badges I don't see many people have, and this feature's been out for like 2 weeks now, so not many people are motivated in general to get these badges, and for something like this where you can't even complete it, why would you even try for it? But I had all these items already. I was collecting as many Leilani items as possible, so I might as well show my collection here. But even then, I am still missing one because I'm missing the wind-up key, which is right here. This item is worth multiple white bow ties, probably worth more than the entire 65 other items, including the raccoon tail. And yeah, I'm never going to own the wind-up key, so I'm never going to have this badge here. And who cares about the Leilani coin? But I'm never going to have the badge unless someone lends it to me, or gives me the wind-up key for some reason, which I don't see happening. For the beta accessories is even worse, because all these items here that I don't have yet, well, stuff like the brain helmet are just rare, but they're not super rare. Some of these items here, like the army helmet, are so rare that only a few people have it in the game in general. Many people don't have, I don't think probably anyone has all of these items all at once. I can't see someone having the army helmet, camouflage boots, and the dino horn, for example. But then you gotta add in the fancy shoes as well as like gator shoes and even like rubber boots and a royal tiara. No, that's not happening. And for now at least, nobody owns a police badge because this is only in Rainbow Expeditions. So how is someone going to be able to... No one's able to finish this. No one has this badge yet. Which is a little unfortunate because the prize is so cool. I would love a beta Daredevil helmet, but no. No one's ever going to get this the way it is right now. Which is just a shame. Wooden shoes is another item that's super hard to get and only a few in game. Another thing that annoys me about this feature is the new thing of trust trading and borrowing all the way in Play Wild. In Classic, about 2017 was the epitome, the peak of trust trading. Trust trading was a scamming tactic where people did a giveaway or whatever, where they have a rare item and people that are less rare went to the giveaway to try and get this rare item. Usually it's a headdress or a spike or something like that. And the way that people got these were from trust trading, and people got scammed crazy. Trust trading was basically giving your best items to this person to hold for a second, and then they'll give them back to you 100% guaranteed. That's definitely going to happen, and they definitely won't scam your items. Oh wait, it was all just a scam? No one actually did legitimate trust trading? Oh, that's a shame. But yeah, unfortunately, that's now a thing in Play Wild, because of these collections here. For example, this Leilani Items 2019, I've had someone ask me to borrow my Leilani Raccoon Tail here, which I traded for when it first came out. While I probably would trust the person that asked me, I'm not going to take any chances, so I declined on that. But other people might be different. What a lot of people do is trade a fair amount for the item in return, and then they give it back. And because you don't need to have the item on your account all at once, you just need to own it at one point, this works perfectly fine. So if I really wanted to trade a super rare item for the wind-up key to own it for a second, I can, but I'm not going to do that. Another thing to worry about, and kind of sucks about the new collections, is the idea of having those beta animal and den missions. While I have them all, because I've been trying to get every single den and animal since I joined this game, many people probably aren't thinking like me. There are 22 animals that you are required to get this beta animal mission, and it just gives you the badge, but if you want all the badges like me, you gotta complete it, right? Some of these animals are unobtainable right now. You can't get them in any way. Unlike on Classic, Play Wild animals don't come back very often, and if they do come often, they, in some way, usually involve a paywall, which is unfortunate, but if you want to complete the mission, you're gonna have to fall into the paywall. So let's just see how many of these early animals and early dens are available to get right now, and how many are locked. So basically, you either need money or you need to be playing for many years upon a time. So 15 out of the 42 total, 20 dens and 22 animals, are permanently available in the shop. That's animals like the snow leopard, where they have them inside the store at all times. 8 are in the old tokens, the old yellow Fab 5 tokens, which have animals like the koala, and the old green den tokens, which have dens like the Pegasus Palace. 5 out of the 42 are in the newer tokens, which are animals like the seal, and dens like the Outback Hideaway. Some of these animals, 2 out of the 42 total, are only available through paid bundles, and the only other way you would have been able to get them is from buying them when they were first in store 6 or 7 or 8 years ago. These are the cheetah and the lynx. These are in the Cat Pride bundle, and if you don't want to spend money, you're out of luck. You're not going to get this mission, which is unfortunate. It's not like if this was on Classic, this would probably be possible for anyone to complete within a year, because Classic animals come back usually yearly or bi-yearly. 6 out of the 42, like the Komodo dragon And the deer, because the deer didn't come back last December, so it's not seasonal anymore, Komodo dragon, deer, and the penguin are not available in any other way, as well as the Pixel Place Den, the Igloo Peak, and the Mystical Fortress. These are only available if you actually played during a time that you were able to get them. I did play, so I do have them, but if you joined in 2021, for example, you're out of luck. You're not going to be able to get the good early den mission, which is not right. For all these animals, even the early ones like the penguin and the Komodo dragon, which don't have any way to get them right now, you can use a corrupted animal token to actually get these animals. Yes, they'll have a corrupted effect over it, but they will count towards the total here. I do like the idea of having an early animal and den mission and other animal and den missions as well. However, I think the main problem here is Animal Jam's release schedule of these animals in the first place. If they were just like classic, everyone would be able to get these within a year, which is, I would say, fair. So what are my suggestions for how to improve this system? Well, I think for the most part, it's pretty good. The main thing that I have a problem with is being able to 100% them, especially the very hard to get missions, the epic ones. So personally, I feel that for collections like this, like the beta accessories, which is basically impossible to get 100% of for anyone, even the rarest player in the game, having the prize all the way at 100% completion of this checklist is excessive. I think that the checklist should be available for you to use after you get the mission, but let's say the normal badge is at 50% and the collector badge, the black badge here, is at 75%. That would still lead you to have a whole lot of these beta accessories. I would probably either qualify for having the collector badge or just shy of it and would have to trade for a brain helmet or dragon wings or another item like that. But I would do that. If I know that I'm able to get the badge at the end of the day, I think I would be motivated to do so. Right now, how it is, I'm not motivated because I know I'm never going to get an army helmet or camouflage boots. That's just not going to happen. Likewise, for the Leilani items, this is just the first year. For other years, since this started in September, it's only about half, or maybe even less, of the total Leilani items that released during that year. And Leilani comes every once in a while and just trades an absurdly rare item for another absurdly rare item. One of these items, for example, was the Skylish Scarf for another one of her Leilani items. So unless you had two, you're not going to have that full collection. That's impossible. What would be my suggestion for this? I would say to put the Leilani items as an epic and do the same thing as the beta accessories. I don't think anyone would complain if they only had, let's say, 40 of these Leilani items and was able to get the badge. Because first off, no one's doing all this for just one Leilani coin. They want the actual badge. As someone that owns over 90% of this collection, I would love to own the badge. I've been working on this for absolutely ever, and I'm not going to be able to get it unless someone lends me a wind-up key, which I don't see happening. I think that other people are probably in the same predicament. Probably a little bit worse than me, but even so, they've been collecting Leilani items for years and don't have any ability to actually show off that they did. And that's the whole reason why this exists, to kind of show off, oh, I collected this. I did that already. And this is more of a checklist, permanent item type thing. A good example of a mission done right is the early Den music one. These aren't very rare. The rarest one here is Pegasus Ballad, and while these don't go on the Explorer, I probably would doubt that Pegasus Ballad would go for anywhere close to 5,000 sapphires. It's probably less than that. No items are worth multiple white bow ties, which take hours upon hours, weeks upon weeks of trading, probably even years of trading just to get one of these items. And then you have to get all of them. Pet tokens as well. Most people use their pet tokens already. So how would they be able to get more unless they re-release them? Because a lot of these are really rare right now, especially the Galaxy token. This item has been gone for almost 2 years, and if you didn't save one, you're out of luck. For just a badge and one pet token, for a majority of people, this isn't worth it. I'm not sure if lower tier collections need a 50% threshold like the higher tier ones, the epic ones, but I'd say that even here, someone that had half of these still likes collecting pet tokens. The idea is great though. I do like the idea of, if I changed my name tag, being able to show oh, I'm a major Leilani item collector, and I want to show that on my name tag. Or I have the beta den items badge, and that one has the special black effect, so it's extra cool or whatever. And if I wanted to show that on my badge, I can. And that's a cool idea. I do think that this name tag system has been doing well, although I think that they should improve on it a little bit more, but that's not the topic of this video. Some of my ideas for possible collections would be Rare Item Mondays, DNA vials. I think one of all the Jambassador stickers would be pretty cool. You'd be able to collect them from expeditions, and even stuff like salesman items, I think would be a really cool collection. Or maybe even a animal lover thing, like for example, the goat released with the Alpine armor sets and the Alpine Lodge den. And let's say you collected the den, animal, and all the items, and you get a badge that looks like a goat. I think that would be a really cool idea. So this definitely has room for potential, as long as they make it actually possible to do. As of right now, not a single person has every badge anymore. I'm probably tied for the closest right now because I don't have the Leilani item badge, which is possible, but I do have the Jambassador badge, which only Jambassadors have. So I'm probably tied for the most number of badges, but I don't have 100%, and neither does anyone else anymore. But is that a good thing? I think no. I think that having 100% of something means that it is 100% possible to complete. I would definitely complete it if I was able to, but I'm not able to, because those items are so rare that I will never get them during the whole time I play the game. Neither would 99.99% of the whole community. For something like the Beta Daredevil helmet, that item is going to be so hard to reach that it might as well not exist, unless something changes. And that's unfortunate. I think it's a really cool item, and it's a really cool system that they implemented. But what do you think? Do you think that the collection system was implemented correctly, or do you think it needs some tweaking? You already know my opinion, so I'm not going to repeat them right here. But what's your favorite collection, and what are your ideas for some collections that may exist in the future? Leave them in the comments as well. If you like my content, then why not subscribe? And with that, this is Bradstormer, storming out.